Bottom tier character Tomozaki season 2 episode 11, and I'm going to try and explain this episode as best as I can because this was actually a very complicated episode. This is one of those episodes where you definitely need to watch it a couple of times before deciding or coming to a conclusion of everything that happened in the episode, but I'm doing this in short, and I will be lying if I say that I got everything that happened in this episode because that was actually not the case. There were some things that I have some doubts, but overall I would say that I had the general idea of what the episode was trying to tell us, so hopefully I get it across. So yeah, this episode was basically all focused around Kikuchi mainly because yeah, we saw other people here and there, but it was mainly about Kikuchi and her story. We knew, or I already explained in the previous episodes, that this story that Kikuchi is writing is basically a story about herself. It's basically a reflection on herself. It's a story about her life. So everything that she's writing, how she concludes it, how she does things, you know, is basically a reflection of her. And because Tomozaki knows this, when Kikuchi writes down the conclusion of her story, he has a little bit of doubt of if that should be actually how the story should end. Because again, not only is it because of the story, but also because of her life. So Tomozaki knows that the way she's ending the story is not actually a very positive way to end the story. I guess you can say that perfectly. And because of this, he comes to the realization, thanks to the help of Mizusawa, which I have to say that out of all the things that Mizusawa has done until now, the couple of lines that he had in this episode were actually really, you know, helpful in understanding everything that was happening regarding Kikuchi, because thanks to his help or thanks to his word, I got to better understand what was happening in the episode. And basically Mizusawa tells Tomozaki that the way that Kikuchi is acting is actually very different than the way Tomozaki is acting, because Tomozaki until now actually thought that the way Kikuchi was acting was kind of similar to him, because she's trying to also change herself, she's trying to become a better person. But Mizusawa says that although it is partly true that she's trying to change herself, it is actually also in a very different way than Tomozaki, because Tomozaki is doing it in a genuine way. I don't know how to exactly put it, but Tomozaki is doing it in a way that he has control over the thing he's doing. He's changing because he wants to change. He's changing because he wants to become a better version of himself, not mimic or copy other people. He wants to, you know, have friends by acting the way he wants to act. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe he's gonna change a couple of things that could make him, I guess you can say, more sociable, but at the end of the day, he's doing it in his way. That is why we always see, you know, Tomozaki and Aoi going head to head on different ideas that they have, and that is because again, they don't actually agree on everything, because Tomozaki is doing it in one way and Aoi is doing it in a different way, and that is the reason why we always see and, you know, disagreeing with each other. And Mizusawa says that, you know, the way that Kikuchi is trying to change is in a way that she's actually trying to change to fit the world, to fit her surroundings. She's actually not trying to change for the better of herself. I mean, one may think that she's actually doing that, because if you just look at it at the surface, yeah, it may seem like that, but when you really analyze it in detail, it is actually not like that, because again, she's actually trying to just fit the world, fit the mold, and she's not actually trying to better herself because she wants to. She's not actually, I guess you can say, following her feelings, her true feelings. She's actually trying to do what Minami is doing. She's just trying to be, you know, how Minami is. She's just trying to act. She's not actually trying to be a better person. So yeah, Tomozaki comes to the realization that yeah, they're definitely going in different ways. Even though he thought before that they actually were doing the same thing, he still has something in his head that was telling him that that was actually not the case. And when he heard Mizusawa confirm it, that they were actually doing different things, yeah, he finally accepted that Kikuchi is actually doing something very different from him. And I actually think that this is the thing or the aspect or the scene or the scenario, I don't know how you can call it, that will make Tomozaki be closer to Aoi. And when I mean closer, I mean that he will try to get a little bit more interested in Aoi, on what she's doing, in why she's acting the way she's acting, because we also see Tomozaki in this episode questioning why she does that, who is the person that she will eventually open up to, and he comes to the conclusion that nobody, because at this point in time it doesn't look like she will open up to anybody, which tells him that he actually maybe needs to, you know, be a little bit closer to her, investigate a little bit more about her. And again, I think this is all happening because of Kikuchi. I think the whole situation surrounding Kikuchi is the thing that is making him also, you know, want to investigate a little bit more about Aoi. So yeah, it may seem like it is only focusing around Kikuchi, which in a way it is, but when you actually also think about it again, it is actually also doing a separate thing. It is actually also taking us closer into an area where Tomozaki and Aoi, I guess you can say, will finally talk to each other, you know, genuinely talk to each other. So hopefully that can happen very soon. But yeah, that was basically everything that happened in the episode. There were a couple of little things here and there that I didn't mention about the episode, but in general, that was what the episode was trying to tell us. It was trying to tell us about the story of Kikuchi, and hopefully, I sort of indicated what she's trying to do. Although it is really hard, to be honest, to grasp everything that happened in the episode. So I don't blame you. You didn't understand everything that went on in the episode. But yeah, you don't want to miss any episode reviews. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, that will be everything by me. And I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.